Our excellent adventure begins. Tell me a story.
My name is Michael.
My name's Anthony.
It's like about a half an inch longer. You still gotta get those kegs.
Come at me, you old bitch.
Eat this damn thing. What's up, everybody?
Good afternoon, evening, everybody, and welcome to the latest episode of M&A's Excellent Adventures, where my name is Anthony.
My name is Michael.
And we are going to tell you a story. And by golly, what a story we have you this week. Michael, how are you doing this week? What's new in your world, first off? Just to kick things off here.
Got a couple things that we can dive into a bit deeper. You know, we can let it kind of marinate for now.
Let it marinate a little bit.
I got in a sick car accident.
Do you
Or
have
I got
pictures?
into I do have pictures. Actually.
Send pictures later.
I'll send you pics.
You're alive, and that's what matters.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. My car took a fucking beating, but I'm fine.
Your car sounded like it was trying to beat you. You know,
it was trying to beat me. Yeah, it snowed here for about an hour, and that was long enough for the roads to be super shitty, I guess, because it wasn't just me. I also saw another vehicle slam into the curb, and then somebody had told me they were 360ing down Main, like it went to shit immediately.
I was at my work office when it was snowing, and I was like, "Oh, it's so pretty." And then you texted me and you said, "Hey, I just got in an accident."
Yeah,
I was all like, "Huh, that's really shitty." Yeah,
lost control, hit the curb, and broke my steering knuckle. So,
ooh, for those of us listeners who don't know what a steering knuckle is, how bad is it?
So my tires are. The driver's side front tire is upright. Passenger side front tire is like this.
Yeah, that sounds pretty fucked.
It is.
Were you able to move it at all, or did it have to get towed?
So I was able to move it before it completely like snapped. It's like hanging on by a thread basically. But so I was able to move it just enough to pull onto a residential street, which was good because then I could park it. And then it just and then it wouldn't go. And I was like, well, at least I got here.
You lucked out at least getting into a residential. My first car died in a very similar manner. The axle cracked on it, and so my car was like hopping forward, and it was ridiculous. I hopped off the interstate, and I was able to get to an apartment building, and I barely squeaked into a parking spot. And then I was stuck there. It was Christmas Eve. I was getting Christmas gifts for my apartment at the time.
Oh my god, that sucks.
Yeah, so I'm just sitting there. I was like, well, at least I got my Switch. And so I just hung out on my Switch for 2 hours because AAA is booked as fuck on Christmas Eve, believe it or not.
Yeah, so I suppose I
think we both lucked out in getting residentials, but
we did.
I am glad that you're alive and you're okay, dude. Because
thank you.
I saw an accident, and I had an accident myself reading that accident text. You know.
Yeah, no, it was definitely, it was less like there wasn't really any anxiety. It was kind of just like a fuck. This is I don't need this in my life right now.
Yeah,
it was more like just annoyed frustration of just like, are you fucking serious?
I know that feeling, dude. I know that feeling. There's nothing worse than car troubles, dude. It makes someone sick to their stomach.
Yeah.
But speaking of sick to their stomach, Michael. What do we do on this show, by the way?
I guess you could say we kind of barf stories.
We barf stories.
We tell
our listeners are sick to their stomach that it took us so long to explain what we do on the show.
So we tell improv stories where one of us, this week, it's Anthony, is coming to the show with a premise, coming to the show with a character or two. And I don't know anything. And so he's gonna lay nothing. He's gonna lay it on me, stud, and then we're just gonna figure it out from there. We're gonna tell you a little story right off the cuff, chuff, and Anthony has an idea of some direction, but it's not enough idea of some direction to get a solid enough erection. So it's definitely going to be a little bit of foreplay to get us across the finish line.
Speaking of finish line, Michael, let me tell you, I reached the finish line of waiting for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to drop. And let me tell you, it is just as good as the trailers made it look.
Good.
Just
That's
as good.
so awesome.
Even better. I was scared it was going to be linear or something. No, it is massive open world. It's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
It's fun. Michael, I am at this conflict because you know that, like, you know, when you watch a show with like your spouse and you're like, I can't watch this without them. Anna and I are both going through the game together, and so I really want to just dive deep and finish the whole thing in one run, but we're both invested in it, and so I'm like, oh, I can't wait, or I can't play unless she's here. I can like grind out and do like side quests, I guess, but like, yeah. You ever get that? Does Ashley ever let you play games?
I am very familiar with a partner, a spouse who's not willing to sacrifice an entire night of sleep to play a video game, much to the chagrin of the player being me. So I am very familiar.
Yes,
with
okay.
that feeling.
I figured as much. I just had to put that out there. But so far, it is phenomenal. It was worth the wait.
That's awesome.
Yeah. All the reviews that are reviewing it, I mean, they're all beaming, and I was scared that it was like overhyped. But man, let me tell you, it's pretty good.
That's
pretty
awesome.
Spanking.
And it's awesome because they're sponsoring us this week.
Sponsored by Square Enix. You better believe. I wish we were. I'd have better lighting in here.
We got like 3 days to nail down to get this sponsor. So we gotta really hustle after.
We can hustle and bustle.
We'll hustle and bustle. I'm bustled. Speaking
of bustling, Michael, that actually fits in perfectly with our premise this week.
Oh my God, we're gonna get into a premise.
A premise. And no, it's not actually marriage related, but we're basically married to our characters. So, Michael, with that being said, should we tell them a story?
I think they are excreting themselves, depleting their shelves from cash to fill that ass with energy as they huff and puff and blow on out. Tell me a story.
And let's tell me your character. I didn't add any transitions between the two, between the bullet points. So, Michael, your character is named Lippy the Leprechaun.
Oh, good.
Lippy the Leprechaun.
The Leprechaun.
Yes,
the thing is I don't have a good Irish accent.
You don't need a good Irish accent because you are married to Libby the Leprechaun.
Okay.
All right. So you're Lippy and I am Libby.
Lippy. I'm Lippy. Okay.
Lippy, because you got those lips. They don't just they don't stop moving, right? They don't stop moving. Yes, like that.
Okay.
No. But you care about your wife and you care about your pot of gold. Okay, those are the two things you care about.
Okay.
And you have a very dark history with a group called the O'Malley Gang.
The O'Malley Gang.
They took a lot from you. They took a lot from you, whatever that means to you.
They took me my pot of gold. Me pot of gold. Okay.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. We don't know.
Or they tried. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what they did.
We don't know yet. But my character, Michael, I am Libby the Leprechaun. I'm soft on the outside, but tough on the inside. I am a proud stay-at-home pot of gold watcher. All right. So I stay at home and I take care of our pot of gold. I care so much for my husband and pot of gold that I would kill for them. All right.
Can we go back to Lippy's just one more time? I just
Lippy.
need to. Okay.
You got it. You got it.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Michael, should we tell them a story?
I think it's time we
Tell me a story. So let us set the scene. You are Lippy. You are coming home from work after a very long, exhausting day, and you see your beautiful wife, Libby, hanging out on the couch, watching the pot of gold like she does every single day.
Oi! Libby!
Oh! You're back!
I'm back, and I had the most amazing day.
Oh,
sorry,
did you now?
I will let you finish, but I just need to tell you about my day. Thank you so much for watching the Pot of Gold, by the way, so that I could... the Pot of Gold is the most important thing, aside from you, of course, in my life, Libby.
Oh, my love,
I do
you
appreciate...
You are just as important to me.
You are so important to me. And I had quite a day today. I did a lot of things today. I frolicked, I jigged, I casted a few rainbows, which was, I felt a little indulgent, so I was doing some rainbowing, and I just had, one of those days where it was nice, but kind of normal. And I'm sorry, am I droning on?
No. I am super intrigued about what you did during your day. One of these days it'd be nice to be able to frolic and shoot some rainbows myself. But hey, maybe some other day, right?
Oh yeah, definitely some other day. I mean, it's good that you're so happy watching the Pot of Gold all day, because it's the two most important things in my life are me Pot of Gold and me wife. And so to have those two things kind of coincide in one place where I don't have to worry about them ever, especially kind of hidden away from those guys.
Yeah, we don't like talking about those guys.
No, but I'm happy you're safe. I'm happy me wife and me Pot of Gold are safe.
Yeah. Well, hun, there is something I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit. If you got 5 minutes of your time.
I love talking, so please.
Great. Do you remember what time I asked you to come home tonight?
Oh, with all the things that were going on tonight, I don't remember what time you asked me to come home. I will say, I mean, I remembered what time you asked me to come home for a while, and I said, I better come home at that time, but I didn't, because I was casting some rainbows, and I thought, well, what's a few more rainbows? So,
well,
but I have no recollection of the time you asked me to be home.
Well, look, I don't know if you remembered our conversation with Dr. Malio. Really important things were talked about, like the fact that you need to take my needs into consideration as well.
I do take your needs into consideration.
And I just don't think it's fair that I just sit around all day and watch our Pot of Gold.
I don't think it's fair to watch the Pot of Gold. But no, you have to understand that, well, first of all, I think Dr. Malio.
Malio,
he rubs me the wrong way.
He's a very good doctor. He has a certificate on his wall.
Look, if he were to rub my Pot of Gold to make me come out, I wouldn't come out. Is how he rubs me the wrong way.
I see.
Because so what I'm saying is, I don't think that what you're saying is coming from a valid place. But I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I think you're so good at being a watcher and watching the other most important thing in my life that I don't know any other reason for you to do anything. And I don't appreciate this doctor who has a particularly suspicious name putting ideas into your head and making you think ridiculous things, like wanting to go out and shoot rainbows when you're watching a Pot of Gold. Wait,
hold on. You're saying he has a suspicious name and that you don't trust him? What's your rationale here? Talk to me. All right, we haven't talked. We haven't talked in weeks, in months.
Well, Lippy? I apologize. I'm not much for talking. It's when like it comes to walking, I'm not much for talking.
It's not even that. Like, I don't know. It just feels like you don't listen to me and you don't think about what I need. But I need to go out and shoot some rainbows too. I need to be able to go out and frolic and jig. Do you know how hard I studied in college to jig? And I never get to jig. I get to jag.
Seen you jig before, Libby.
I get to jag occasionally at home when you're here, but all the other times I'm watching our Pot of Gold.
Well, let's be honest here, Libby. You haven't jagged in a while.
You
know what I mean.
are the most unbelievable, disgusting. I don't even have a word to describe how horrible you are. I'm
What is
this
that letter
close.
over there?
I turn around. Where's the pot of gold?
Libby. Libby?
Lippy, I swear. What did you do?
What did I do? I'm
What
not
did
the
you
one
do?
who's. It is not my job. You are the one who is supposed to be watching the pot of gold. You do one thing. You do one thing all day, every day, and you stay in one place all day, every day.
And this is what happens
can't even
when
do that.
This is what happened. You know what? Maybe I'm not even supposed to be able to go out and about because anytime I am distracted, it's because of you. I have a hard. I don't even know if I can trust you to watch this thing. Where did you put the pot of gold? Come on, seriously.
You have a hard what? You have a hard what because the situation isn't giving me a very hard anything right now, Libby. So, where's my pot of gold, Libby?
I hope you're being hard-headed. I hope just okay. Pot of gold.
Where's my pot of gold? What is this? What is this in its place?
And then we look at it, and I go, Lippy, I don't know what happened. It was here a second ago. I turn around. I'm trying to explain to you how I'm feeling, and your lack of attention to me made us miss out. Made us just fumble the ball. And then I look at this letter. What does it even say? We have your pot of gold. If you ever want to see her alive again, you will pay us 1 million by 3 p.m. Sunday, or else it's dead. Wait for our call. O'Malley's.
No. O'Malley's?
Son, you don't think the O'Malleys took our pot of gold, do you?
Libby. Who else would have taken me pot of gold?
This wouldn't have happened if you were home more often. You
This
could
wouldn't
have defended us. You could have prevented this from happening.
You didn't even know they took it, which makes me believe that you're not watching me pot of gold. Now, Libby, you are the most important thing in my life, and the pot of gold is the most important thing in my life. And I need you two to work together in order to both survive so I can have the most important things in my life at my will, at my leisure. You didn't even notice. It's like you don't care about me.
Don't even come at me about this.
I don't think
I care about two things. I care about you, and I care about our pot of gold. And since I don't even have our pot of gold, I don't even know if I care about you. But you know damn well I've killed for this gold before. And I'll do it again. Do you remember how we met?
I remember how we met.
You remember how we combined our pots of gold? We had something special at one point.
We combined our pots of gold and we sang the ritual. We did the dance. We did the deed. And then we bathed in our pot of gold nude as babes. And then we kind of rubbed the gold all over ourselves to use its natural polish to oil ourselves up, and we just kind of wiggled against each other in the gold. It was magical. It was deep. It was passionate.
Whatever happened to that?
It was the closest I've ever been.
Whatever happened to that?
The same thing that's happened today.
Maybe if we had that, we'd still have our pot of gold.
It's the O'Malleys.
It's the O'Malleys.
It's always been the O'Malleys.
Lippy, I can't believe I'm saying this. Should we pull out our old spurs? One last heist? Just for redemption and for our gold?
One last heist. And it's a heist we may not be coming back from.
I love you, Lippy.
I can't wait to have oily coin sex with you again.
And so we take our leprechaun car down the main street. And we're driving, and we pull up to this alleyway, which we know will eventually lead to the O'Malley gang.
How do you think we summon them? Do you think it's like the Warriors? Do you remember that movie? Do you remember that film from the 80s, The Warriors?
I remember Warrior Cats. Remember when we watched that in preparation of our second pot of gold? And
okay, Libby, here, just look for bottles. I found one bottle. Yep. Can you find a glass bottle? I need a glass bottle.
And I look around and I find a glass bottle. All right, yep, I got that.
And I clink them on my fingers. O'Malley's come out to play.
And you hear, and you see 3 leprechauns appear.
It worked. I didn't think that'd work. I was just kind of being silly.
Lippy.
What?
How did you still got it in you?
I still got it in me.
And we see 2 leprechauns and a Dr. Malio hanging out. They're coming around.
I knew there was
there. Lippy.
Doctor.
Long time no see.
I knew there was something sinister about you, Nippy O'Malley.
What are you on about? You called us.
I'm sorry, I meant Malio, and you responded to O'Malley. I mean, the jig is up, if I know anything about jigging...
Hey, no. Look. I'm really just trying to get into an honest business, man. You gotta understand. And then the 2 other leprechauns are going, Malio? What is that? And they're confused.
Well, it seems that your goons are confused of your name.
Hey, come on, man. Like, just trying to make an honest living. Can we just let bygones be bygones? Just let this stew under the bridge. Oh, hey, I'll give you a half off our next session for the next 3 months here. Three months half off.
No, Doctor, here's what's going to happen. You're going to give me my pot of gold back. You're going to stop putting these zany ideas in me wife's brain. Because you're giving her a zany brain.
Wait a minute. Lippy.
And then we'll be returning home peacefully and never have anything to do with the O'Malleys ever again.
Lippy, no, I really enjoy the work he's doing. He seems like he's being an honest man here.
Libby.
Yeah, come on, Lippy. You're being irrational.
No, I'm being perfectly rational. And I'd like me pot of gold back where it belongs with me wife and me.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about coin oil sex. You ever heard of it?
Yeah, I did it back with my wife before she died. But more importantly, what are you on about? We didn't take your pot of gold. And the 2 other leprechauns are like, yeah, take your pot of gold. We're just trying to have a nice evening out here.
Then explain this. And I shove the letter towards you.
And then they look at it. Wait, $1 million. This doesn't look like our handwriting.
Very clever. Very clever for a few leprechauns.
Honey, I think we should trust them. Don't you? If they didn't take our gold, then they didn't take our gold.
I can't believe I'm hearing. Who else would have taken our gold? It says O'Malley. Clearly, Malio.
It might say O'Malley, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Hey, hun, Lippy, maybe we should just go. Maybe we should just get out of here. Pretend this didn't happen. Maybe we can make a new pot of gold.
No. And I pull out a gun. All right. I need some answers right now.
No, what are you doing? And Libby follows your lead. Well, I guess we're back at it again. And then she pulls out her gun as well. Give us your pot of gold.
Give us the gold.
Give us our pot of gold back. And then give us yours as well. Hey, put
I
the
like
guns
the
down.
fire.
I really have no clue what you're talking about, man.
Well, clearly you have to have some sort of answer. I mean, why would it have an O'Malley name on it? I'm certain that it's you. I clanked the bottles. I called for the O'Malleys, and you came. So where's the gold? Who am I giving the $1 million to then? Who is asking for it? Because it
I
says O'Malley's, and you're here.
I wish I
Oh,
knew. And Libby turns and points her gun at you. It was
Lib-
me.
Libby. No,
I have it.
Libby. But my love. It's
You better believe. Bang, bang,
it
bang, and
can't
she
be.
shoots the 3 O'Malleys. She
Oh,
points her gun back at you. All of
Libby.
that frolicking. All of it.
Libby.
All of it entirely.
Just,
All
just
of the fun things you did. You shot rainbows. You jigged. I haven't jigged since before we combined our pots of gold. As soon as we got married, you ignored me. Don't try to deny it.
Libby. You're not good at a jig. But I
You
love
take
you
that
anyway.
back.
I love you anyway, and I come home. Take the gold. You've got the gold. Just come home and put an end to it.
I really just stole it so that we could have this moment again. I really thought that if the gold disappeared, and I point my gun closer to you, if the gold were to disappear,
Libby.
you'd have something to care about again. Because you very clearly have forgotten about little old me.
I just I just want you to be safe. And I just want my gold to be safe. And
I
so if
want
I could have you be safe over my gold being safe, then everything is safe, Libby.
you
Libby.
raise a lot of points about safety.
Please, Libby, just come home. We'll rub the coins all over our naked bodies, and we'll roll around on a pile of hay just like we used to.
Lippy, I knew you still had the romance in you.
Yeah! I won and got everything I wanted.
Wait, Lippy, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? I got sex, gold, and my wife back.
And scene, I guess. I thought you were gonna flip it, and then you were trying to rob me of the gold I robbed you.
Oh.
I was very confused.
Oh.
So yeah, the moral of this story is leprechauns are bitches. And more
Leprechauns are kind of
importantly,
bitchy and they'll steal from you.
they're kind they're bitchy and they'll steal from each other. They're
Yeah,
just not to be trusted. But I thought, hey, why can't we just have a nice romantic sexual relationship between two leprechauns?
yeah, they
For a
just rub
story.
coins on each other and
Mm-hmm.
kind
I feel like
of
that's how
go to
Scrooge
town.
McDuck goes to town.
It is how he goes to town. He
It is
has
how
to
he
kind of
goes.
use the friction of the coins to get in a friction.
I heard that you can't actually jump in a vat of coins, that it turns actually solid. Do you
Yeah.
think that's yeah, that's sad.
I don't remember. It was probably on like Family Guy or something.
Oh
It was
yeah, and he falls down.
and he falls and he just hits the yeah, and it's like a large amount of small solids doesn't make a liquid, it just makes a bigger
It makes a
solid
bigger solid
or something.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Okay. Gosh.
We're big
Well,
advocates
Michael,
and sponsored by Family Guy on the show.
we are sponsored by Family Guy, and we're sponsored by Square Enix, and we're sponsored
Absolutely.
by $1 million from the O'Malley gang. So,
We
Michael,
are.
favorite part of the story. What did
Lots
you
of
enjoy?
drama.
There's a lot of intense drama.
There was a lot of intense drama.
I wasn't expecting that much drama, to be honest, but you came in like an asshole. So I thought, well,
I
I gotta
really
roll with it.
did. I wasn't sure exactly how to come in, but
You full
I
on
thought-
went Patrick, who ignored SpongeBob when he was taking care of the scallop. Remember that episode?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
and
Just
Patrick's like, "I'll come home at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock," and then he comes back at 12 o'clock midnight.
Yep.
And
No, it's exactly. I I was like, I'm gonna just be
Just gotta be
awful.
that.
And then at
Gotta
the
be that
end,
guy.
you're like, I knew you had it in you, and I'm like, I won.
I won. I got everything I needed.
I got
I was
everything
this
I
close
wanted
to
and
shooting you.
sex.
I was this close to murdering you. And you
that's why
spun it.
Lippy has his name, because he can talk himself out of any situation.
He's got the gift of gab, which is
He
also an
does.
Irish thing, if you didn't know. That's where you kiss the Blarney Stone in Ireland. You get the gift of talking. Gift of gab.
Okay.
Interesting, fun little St. Patrick's Day factoid for you.
Yeah.
Since it's going to be St. Patrick's Day next week, so
Absolutely.
yeah.
So what was your favorite part of the whole shabazz, Anthony?
I think my favorite part of the whole shabazz, to be honest, was I genuinely didn't think we'd be fighting during the story. I thought it was going to be a fun little buddy cop thing, but I did enjoy that we were fighting. And then he said, "What's that note over there?" And I go, "Oh, I guess we're doing this a little bit, huh?"
I'm like, what's the next move that Lippy would take? And it's like, oh, just completely ignoring
Change
his
the
wife
subject
and
and point out
changing
the missing hole.
to also further his point that he does not care what she's saying right now.
I also really enjoyed how bad I was at being a mad wife. I was really trying. I was like, what do mad wives say?
No, you did good.
I can't even think of words to describe you.
I'm like,
Exactly.
I don't know, hot, handsome, beefy, and kind of
beefy
buff.
And bad boy. Those are the 4 B's. Those are the 4 B's.
Those are the 4 B's.
What do you think the moral of the story is, besides that leprechauns are assholes?
I think the moral of the story is that if you're having relationship problems, steal from your spouse, because then eventually, like, you kind of get everything you want.
You know, I think that's close. I think I would also add that money changes everything.
Yeah.
Especially sex.
Yeah, money can buy you just about anything. So protect it with your wife.
Protect it with your wife. Exactly.
Yeah.
Good to hear. So, Michael, anything else you want to talk about at all?
There was one little thing I wanted to talk about just briefly here.
Yeah. Hit it.
Ashley and I have been watching House of the Dragon.
Is that the Game
of Thrones? Did it
just come out? I thought that came out earlier.
It came out a while ago, but we just started watching it. And we're almost done with the first season, and the second one is apparently, I think, supposed to come out really soon.
Okay. Is it any good?
It is very good. I don't think it's quite as good as Game of Thrones.
Sure. But
it is very good. It's still very, like, just intense. And it's been nice because it's been a long time since Ashley and I have watched a show that it's like, okay, we should go to bed, but let's just watch one more episode. And like, that's
the opposite of the gaming conversation we had earlier.
Yeah, but it's
been
years since we've had like a show where we're like, okay, let's just watch one more. So I'm very happy to be in that situation. I think we have one episode left. Yeah, we're on the last episode of the first season, so we'll be ready for season 2. But yeah, it's a good show.
Are the kiddos watching it with you or no?
No. No, we have to wait for them to go to bed.
Oh, I see. I suppose that's probably the responsible thing. I can just imagine Daisy in daycare just slashing people in half.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Beating them. Oh,
it's not for kids.
It's not
much like kids. Game of Thrones. It's
good to know.
For kids.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I thought it was a kid-friendly show, so I was gonna, I don't know, whatever.
I'm glad that I could enlighten you.
I thought it was like, Little House of the Dragon, or like live action, hanging out on the prairie,
like hanging out. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
No, it's a lot more like sex and murder type of deals going on.
That's mostly kid-friendly in England.
Mostly kid-friendly.
Or in Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on where you're from. I don't want to be culturally insensitive.
That's true. It's very kid-friendly actually in Australia. So
yeah.
Well, Michael, Anthony. I don't know about you. I think we should throw out a plug or two.
I think
so that people know where they can find us. Because usually we have a bunch of fun guests and stories on this channel. And usually people like to throw comments and stuff. So where can they do all that, Michael?
They can do all that on a whole lot of places. You can find us on on Facebook, on X, on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. That's where obviously you can watch all of our videos. But if you are like, you know what, I just want to listen to a story on my little commute to work, I don't
Oh
really have the time to
yeah.
watch it, then check us out. We're on Spotify, we're on Acast, we're on iHeartRadio, Google, Apple, all the places that you can find a podcast. You're going to find us, M&A's Excellent Adventures. And of course, if you want to guest on a show, if you want to give us a little feedback, if you want to submit a premise for us to use for one of our stories, you can hit us up at Michael and Anthony Adventures at gmail.com. That's Michael and Anthony Adventures at gmail.com, and we will reply and supply you with a little bit of recognition.
Oh yeah. And also, fun little announcement. The weather's getting better up here in North Dakota. You know what that means, Michael?
In-person episodes.
In-person episodes again.
Oh, yes.
I have been craving an in-person episode, dude.
Absolutely.
I've been craving. And that's not just the Spider-Man villain, all right? I've
Right.
been craving.
Absolutely. No, 100%.
An in-person episode. So, yeah, weather's coming up. It's going to be in the 50s and 60s next week. You know what that means? We can just throw on the heater and just party up if we wanted to.
And that will be fantastic. So we get to kind of get back in the saddle, back in the shadow,
back in the New York groove.
In action. Yeah. So Michael and Anthony, we're going to do a little making out. We're going to do a little coin oil
rubbing.
And then
all the things.
And then we'll tell a story.
We're going to tell a good story. So Michael, I think it's about that time to say bye-bye.
Kisses.